Speaking of that, do you regret any of the decisions that you made that led you to this point?
Not only am I happy for every single thing that's happened to me in my entire life, I'm thankful for it. I can sit here and tell you I have no regrets whatsoever. Because if it wasn't for every tear that I've shed, every scar that I have, I wouldn't be who I am. And I'm damn proud to be who I am and where I am in my life. Because I know it's only going to get better from here. And it's kind of given me a new outlook too, because anytime something bad happens, you know, I go through my phases to where I get depressed like everybody else, but it doesn't stick like it used to, because I've seen what I can overcome, and I've seen what people can overcome, and like a flat tire doesn't bother me anymore. It's like I feel like I can do anything, and it's an awesome feeling. And with my writing, I want to help other people kind of feel that way too. I want them to see what you can go through and still be there with a smile on your face and laughter in your heart, you know.
Talk about your family.
What do you want to know?
Anything that comes off the top of your head. Talk about your dad.
My dad is... It's weird. My parents divorced when I was 2, and I lived with my mom. And the whole time growing up, I idolized my father because I saw him every other weekend. And when I went over there, I had toys and I had games, and every little thing my heart desired, I had. And I was spoiled over there. And then I'd go back to my mom's where we didn't have anything because we were dirt poor. Like I don't remember the timeline, but there was months where all we ate were Twinkies and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because that's all we had. And to go from McDonald's and toys and everything to that and nothing, it was weird. It really felt like I was a foreign exchange student every couple of weeks where I go to America and then I go back to my third world country and live in the dirt for a little while. And it kind of gave me a weird perspective on life because I felt like material items equaled love to me, because they bought me everything, so they loved me. My mom couldn't buy me anything, so she didn't love me, and that was the mindset I had for a long time. So when I finally moved in with my dad, because my brother and I didn't get along very well, and it reached a boiling point when I was about 10, I think, I moved in with him, and I discovered the difference between seeing someone every other weekend and actually living with them and dealing with them on a daily basis. My dad was a great buddy. Him and I had some amazing times, but as a father, I don't think he really knew how to be one. Because to this day, we've never had a real conversation about anything. Like, it's hard to describe, man. Sometimes I really want my friend back, but at other times I want to find my father. Like, I want him to fill that role, you know? I want him to step up and just ask me how I'm doing with my life and ask me about my life, instead of just talking about TV shows and bullshit. I want to get to know him, and I want him to know me, because I don't think he does. And sometimes I don't even know if he really wants to, and it hurts. Like whenever I go to talk to him now, we don't really talk about anything. Like, I used to have such amazing memories from my childhood, but now when I see him, I feel like we're strangers.
Is there a lot of inspiration for some of your earlier work there?
Not really. Like, I've written a few pieces about my dad. I wrote one whenever I first started the job I'm in now, which was almost 3 years ago. He was diagnosed with leukemia. And that kind of messed my head up, because there was a lot of stuff I wanted to say to him, but I didn't know how, because I don't know him anymore. And then I remember seeing him in the hospital, and he's wrapped up in all these IVs and stuff, and as far back as I can remember, my dad always said how much he wanted to die. Like, all he wants in this world is just out. And sometimes I wonder if that's where I get my suicidal tendencies from. But he finally got his way. Like, he was excited. He was going to die, and he was so happy about it. I've got 2 little brothers, ages, well, now they're 3 and 5, but they were younger then. And all he could talk about is how happy he was finally checking out of planet Earth. He was just so happy. And it fucked my head up, man. It did. And then seeing him in that hospital like that, I only visited him once because I couldn't stand seeing him like that. And I wrote this one piece, and it's called, Oh That, It's Not a Death Rattle, There's Just Something Caught in His Throat. Because he got better. And like, he was so happy he was gonna die, but turns out he actually went through the chemo and he became better. But even now, he still talks about how he can't wait to die. And I guess that kind of influences my stuff, because I've been suicidal since I was 4. Every single day, I have a suicidal thought. Every single day. Even now, I'm happier than I've ever been, and I still think about wanting to die every day. It's become a part of me. The only difference is now I'm able to acknowledge that I've had that thought and push it aside instead of dwelling in it for months at a time. So I feel like I've overcome that, and he hasn't been able to yet. I don't think he can see just how beautiful life can be. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.